It's joke, no joke, no joke. Oh, you know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Joke, no joke. I'm back, baby. It is what it is. The man's in the building. Happy Thanksgiving to everybody out there. Pre-Thanksgiving, your job, turkeys. Shout out to Mary in the building, first in the building. Ursula in the building, second up. Whack on Wood, third in the building. A brother Bert in the building. Number 3. You know what I mean? All right. Creep in the building. Calm 1029 in the building. My fellow Americans, salute in the building. All right. You know what it is, Whack on Wood. You know what it is. All right. Choke, no joke. I'm here, man. I got some information, some new information, new to me, might be new to y'all, might be old to some of y'all. Yeah, I know I ain't heard it before, but I got a gang of new information in the Biggie and Tupac stuff. I got so much new information that y'all could just look for me to be we just gonna be Biggie and Packing it for the rest of this year, so we can give the Vegas Keefy D's lawyers some more information on that Roden Rat Jr. Roden Rat hasn't been telling us everything, y'all. Oh boy. Man, oh man, I'm about to be connecting dots here today. So make sure you hit up your favorite Tupac and Biggie investigators that be watching the show with you, and everybody breaking it down with each other. And the stuff that I'm giving you today, oh, these are official statements. Man, I got that work. Woo! I got that work. I got them files, baby. It's going to take me a few days to go through them. But boy, oh boy. Already my mind is blown. I mean, blown away. Oh, man, it's going to be good, man. Choke, no joke. This is going to be a good one tonight, pre-Thanksgiving. If you're in the kitchen cooking, just turn up the volume, baby. I got you. You in there making that mac and cheese, that turkey, whatever you doing, man. Go ahead and get it done. I got you. I got you. Woo! You gonna be cooking good tonight, baby, with some great entertainment. Man, we gonna oh. Shout out to the bigger pick in the building. You know what I mean? I am pretty black cutie pie in the building. The observation thoughts is in the building. Nandy is here. What up, Nandy? Boy, we got a good one tonight, y'all. Yo, and then tomorrow, when the family come over, put them on to that tunnel documentary, the hip hop nucleus. Show that to them. You know what I mean? I'll drop the link for you so you can watch it on YouTube for free. You know what I mean? But choke no joke. Let's get to the show. You know how we do it. You know how it go. Let's
Choke no joke. Yeah. It's choke no joke. Let's go. Choke no joke. Chicken choke no joke. Choke no joke. Niggas choke no joke. Choke no joke. Yeah. It's choke no joke. Let's go. Choke no joke. Chicken choke no joke. Choke no joke. Niggas choke no joke. What up, y'all? It's Arthur D. Austin, better known as Choke No Joke. We out here at the legendary Tunnel nightclub, or at least where it used to be. Everybody asks me what's the Tunnel. The Tunnel was a nightclub that was owned in the 90s here by Peter Gatien. In 94, Stress Entertainment started a party called Mecca. In 96, Franchise Entertainment took it over and they had it until it closed. All the biggest names in hip hop perform here, from Jay-Z, Meth and Red, Dr. Dre, Snoop, Nas, Puff Daddy and the Family, Eve, you name it, they was all here. If you had heart, you came here. But everybody didn't have heart. So it's time for y'all to enter the club most people feared to enter, the Tunnel.
The Tunnel wasn't a unique hip hop club, and its foundations were based on the concept of bringing hip hop from all the boroughs to one location. And it was the brainchild of Peter Gatien. My name is Sterling Cox. I was the head of security.
Alpha Grinion, Brooklyn, New York.
My name is V.
House.
Sincere from Brooklyn.
Glenn Beck. Jumping Lee, whatever Lee you want to call me.
Omega.
Ray Mack.
Diamond.
Craig.
Candy.
Big Box. Big Country.
Ramona Diaz.
Big Penna. Big CB.
John Bass Raleigh.
Sean Brophy, sound engineer.
DJ Johnny Walker Red.
MC Frank Jigger, the celebrity's choice.
Choke No Joke, legendary videographer.
Supreme Bigger Figure. Big Cap. The Warden.
Big G, AKA the ringleader.
The Tunnel was the hip-hop nucleus.
It was the epicenter.
It was the domain, the temple.
It was the Mecca.
It was like the hip-hop Woodstock.
Nothing was that melting pot of hip-hop.
They kept the paradigm going.
It's almost like what Rucker did for like street basketball. The Tunnel was that of music industry.
Hip-hop had a heart. That shit was one of the main arteries.
It was actually a Mecca. That's what the original name of the party was, Mecca.
It was like a time machine. That's how the Tunnel was. You came out a whole different individual.
We went in there, young men with attitudes, and came out there wiser men with our lives.
It was definitely a starting, beginning spot for artists to come and mingle and branch out and get your record heard and get your shit together, really, to go into the next phase of your career.
The Tunnel was not open or did not open. A lot of new artists, or a lot of artists that you know now, to this very day, will have never been known.
All these artists out today need to be happy that the Tunnel was fucking open. Nobody would hear none of y'all singing tight pants niggas right now. The Tunnel was a platform for niggas like Jay and Puff, Boo and Mob and DMX and Rough Riders. Niggas don't respect these niggas today, man. You need to realize, man, without them niggas, man, and their platform, it made a lot of moves for niggas today. It happened there, it made it relevant.
Became a pillar of hip hop.
The Tunnel is the nucleus of hip hop. And I'll say all the way down south, because when the Tunnel was open, wasn't too much going on down that motherfucker. Y'all can say what y'all want, peace to the South, but New York made the shit pop. New York was where it's at. The Tunnel in New York is where you needed to be to pop.
The Tunnel was definitely a hip-hop nucleus, yo. It was just like the galaxy, it bring other planets in. You have people from France, Germany, London, everywhere. If they came to New York, they had to go to the Tunnel.
Hi, Premier. I come here to meet you, and I'm going to all the place. I'm going to the Bronx, to Sedgwick Avenue, McCool Hook, to the party, and Cedar, and then I'm going to the Tunnel.
It was our barometer for, how we were really gauging records, and we were really, studying the behavior of the consumer.
Saying it ain't just like how they do it now. You could just throw a record out and, you know what I'm saying, wait 8 weeks, 10 weeks, whatever for the shit to bubble. Niggas was putting them records on to see if them shits get that reaction. And if the shit was popping, niggas would fast track it. If it wasn't, niggas would go back to the drawing board.
Absolutely. It's the definition of hip hop nucleus. Everything was there.
Everything that surrounded hip hop, from fashion to music, hairstyles.
Like it encompassed every part of the hip hop experience, and they put it all in one building on a Sunday night.
If you go as far back to little hole in the walls and little centers where people start elaborating, playing the sounds and displaying the culture, to within later on you have places that was up in Harlem like Harlem World, up in the Bronx called T Connection, just using them as an example of many other places all throughout the city. And then years later here come places like Union Square and Latin Quarters. The last of the Mohegans of for real hip hop had became the Tunnel.
Tunnel was definitely a hip hop nucleus. It really was. And you gotta say, believe it or not, the wagon master was a one-eyed white guy from Canada, Peter Gation.
Nothing will ever be like
Tunnel documentary out right now.
Choke, no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah, now.
Choke, no joke. Jack Brown. Yeah. This what ATL in New York sound like. Let's go. Y'all hating ass niggas, I see y'all. Choke, get busy, that's why I got the crown. Hate in the air. You clowns, I see the envy that you breed, jealousy. What you need is your own damn hustle. Stop worrying about mine. Nigga, I'm popping cause I put in time. Came out modeling, camera in hand. Still get busy with the mic in hand. Streets pulled out, niggas got sprayed. Niggas turn on you when they see you get paid. The intimidation in your face. Where's the love? What's taking place? You want my gold and my ducats, cause my money overflowing out of buckets. Shot him in public, made people holler. Scar on his face for the money and the power. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the game had me fooled, got in, was young. Thought talent made you rich, damn was dumb. More to make, cake from crumbs. You gotta be sweet, G or native tongue. My heartbeat went into overload. When Larry tried to turn me into a mole, told me show my curly to the CEO. I didn't think it's funny, so his jaw hit the floor and grabbed that chair that broke his back. Then realized that's a hate attack. Harassment comes assault, you in the maze. No way out, like Puff and Mace. Touch me, tease me, I catch a case. Nigga, you ain't straight as your poker face. Father law God, in that game I fold. This sun don't tick, demon time don't hold. I'm the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. 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 The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. The truth in the industry made me the chokester. Chokester. On the ones and twos, chokester. What y'all want to do? I'm here now. Eden Wall, stand up. Shout out to the bomb squad.
It's joke, no joke, no joke. Oh. You know what it is. Let me turn on my Insta Grizzle and let them come party with a nizzle. You know what I'm lizzle? But shizzle my nizzle. So tonight, I'm back on my Biggie and Tupac for the rest of the year, going into the next year, since they pushed the trial back. You know what I mean? Which is a good thing for, people like me. Because I get to, do some more digging and deep diving. You know, it challenges me, you know, to crack this case before they do. So if you're Instagram, I'm live on YouTube right now. The link is in my stories. If you want to join us on the screen, or you're welcome to watch right here. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody that's working right now at work, sneaking, watching. If you're doing security somewhere and it's boring because everybody's out trying to get their last minute uh groceries, I'm here to entertain you, baby. All right. YouTube, I'm live on Instagram. Instagram, I'm live on YouTube. Y'all want to network? Exchange numbers. You know how I go, right? So oh, what I'm gonna do tonight is I'm gonna bounce around a little bit. I'm gonna go from Biggie to Pop, from Pop to Biggie. You know what I'm saying? With a lot of this new information that I obtained, um, like I said, it might be new to me and old to y'all. You know, it's always gonna be some goofy nigga that I already knew that. That ain't no joke. You always gonna have somebody coming in talking about they already knew that, whatever, whatever. Lucky T in the building, what up? All right, I see you. Shout out to Monica. I went by her aunt did a giveaway to the people today. They fed the people in downtown Atlanta. Shout out to Tyranny and the municipal court of Atlanta. That's where they, held the event. People came out, got some food, got their eat on, got their drink on. Shout out to my man Greg Street. He was in the building. Lil Bow Wowsy came through. Jermaine Dupri, of course, Monica was there, you know. But I went through it. I supported for a hot second. I got there a little late. 'Cause I was over there kicking it with my man B.I.G. Oh, as you can see, I still got the Monica bracelet on. I don't need this no more. I think I might need a scissor to cut this off. But as you can see, Aunt and Monica. What did it say? Aunt and Monica something. I can't see because it's upside down. Feeding Atlanta. Aunt and Monica feeding Atlanta. All right. Shout out to the new member, Yak Diesel in the building. You already know, no relation to Shaq. All right. No relation to Shaq Diesel. No relation to Diesel, the hitman from Detroit. Yak Diesel, appreciate you. Much love, right? So I came across a lot of information in the Tupac and Biggie cases. A lot of this information, um, some of it we know, some of it uh, is going to be elaborated on, and a lot of it is just to catch pork butt in his lies, right? Even though we know he lying. Now there's document and statements that I got my hands on that prove to me that he's lying, right? Like one of the things he said that he didn't know Rafael Perez, David Mack, Kevin Gaines, and them, right? Now, I don't know how many times I've improved his ass is a liar when it comes to that, right? So I'm gonna reiterate to him by having some statements from people, that prove that he was lying. Again, like I had Omar Bradley on, and he said how him and Rafael Perez played chess in death row offices, and Rafael Perez is nice on the chess game because he beat him 2 out of 3 games, right? And then Rafael Perez was standing there with Reggie when Suge Knight and Omar Bradley had a fight, but Reggie told us he didn't know Rafael Perez, right? And he didn't work at Death Row, right? Even though C Style, Trady, Joe Cool, Layla, Chief Bernard Parks, uh, Jimmy Iovine, all of them all knew that, Rafael Perez and them worked up at Death Row, right? They all know it, but Reggie didn't know it. He's the one that was hiring the off-duty cops. So why is he lying? Because he got something to hide, right? So when it comes to Reggie saying that he didn't know Kevin Gaines, who we know Suge knew who Kevin Gaines was because they had an incident, right? So how could Reggie not know who Kevin Gaines was, even though we got Reggie on tape talking about Kevin Gaines? You didn't give him a check, right? They said you gave him a check, this, that, and the other, right? but he, but he didn't know him, right? Well, hey, pork butt, how about did you know this, right? And this is documented, right? This is in black and white, pork butt. Did you know that Sharitha gave detectives a statement right after Kevin Gaines got killed because they was driving her car? I mean, he was driving her car, the Montero. So when they see who the car was registered to, which was Sharitha Knight, they went to her house, Reggie. Did you know that? I'm sure you knew that. Just hours after Kevin Gaines got killed by Frank Lager, they went to Sharitha's house, right? And her mother was there, Mrs. Golden. You know I'm not lying if I know her mother name, right? Hey, Porky. I'm sure you know Mrs. Golden because you grew up with Sharita, and you used to date her cousin, so you know Mrs. Golden. Shout out to Mrs. Golden, right? But did you know? Well, of course you knew. I'm sure you know by now. For y'all that didn't know, Sharita gave detectives a statement that Kevin Gaines did security for Death Row Records the day that Kevin Gaines got shot. So how Pork Butt don't know Kevin Gaines, but Sharita Knight gave a statement that said Kevin Gaines worked security for Death Row Records. It's in black and white, baby. It's in black and white, baby. Also, she also told them that Kevin Gaines was just at her house hours ago, right? This is what her and her mother told the detectives, right? That Kevin Gaines was just there a few hours earlier, and he told them that he was going to the gym, and from the gym he was going to put some new tires on that Montero Jeep, right? And then, they was there for about 20, 30 minutes, the detectives. And then, Sharita was already cried out when they got there. They seen her. She was crying and stuff because she had knew or whatever. And, she told them that and then asked them to leave because, she was going through it. So, Pork Butt, how you don't know Kevin Gaines? And he was doing security for Snoop outside of just doing security for Death Row. Keep lying. Vegas, y'all watching? Hey, Vegas, you watching? Your man is over here leading y'all down the wrong path, right? Now, let's just go over to Biggie for a hot second, right? Well, this is the Biggie case right here. So let's just say right here with Biggie, right? Did y'all know that 6 LA police officers worked for Biggie that night or Bad Boy that night at the Peterson Museum when Big got killed? Now, here's the interesting thing. Gene Squill, he mentioned Paul was there, right? But he also said that it was some Inglewood cop, right? Why Gene Squill never said his name, I don't know. But I'll tell y'all his name. It's in black and white. His name is Reggie Blaylock, right? Now, Reggie Blaylock was in the black Chevy Blazer with Paul Orford. Remember, Gene Squill always talk about Paul Orford, and now he tried to talk bad about Paul, right? How he gave Paul one and Nina or Nene, right? He gave Paul Nina or Nene, right? But we also know that he gave D Rock a gun, right? And he tried to lie about it until I busted him, right? And he had to tell the truth. So once he came clean and said, oh, he gave D-Rock a gun, it went from Paul, he just gave Paul a gun, and that was it. And then he had to tell the truth when I put him on Front Street and said that he gave, what you call it, a gun? D-Rock a gun, right? But the whole time he tells that story, he never mentioned Reggie Blaylock's name, right? Why? Because Reggie Blaylock was an Inglewood officer who was not supposed to be doing security off duty for no rappers. I'm trying to cut this damn Aunt and Monica bracelet off my wrist. But just know that Reggie Blaylock was in the car with Paul Orford in the Chevy Blazer, right? Now, I'm gonna drop some names since they wasn't dropping no names because these names are gonna connect these dots, right? Now, how Reggie, this cop, this Inglewood cop, he didn't get hired through Pork Butt for Bad Boy, because remember, Bad Boy tried to hire Pork Butt too to do some security for them, right? Reggie Blaylock, he got the job through a dude named Kenneth Story. One day he was working out in the gym and Kenneth told him about the job offer and he took it. There we go. Shout out to Monica. Right? Now, Reggie Blaylock, he left the scene after the shooting because he didn't want to get questioned because he didn't have a permit to work security that night. So he didn't want to get in trouble and have to answer no questions, right? But when they caught up with him and found out that he was there a few days later, detectives went and talked to him. And Reggie Blaylock's statement said that all he could remember was Diddy loading two women in his car before pulling off, and that he was impressed by Gene Deal, who was Biggie bodyguard that night, and he didn't notice any attention, any he didn't notice any bad tension between Biggie and the Crips who approached Biggie at the party at the Peterson that night. Now we all know that Gene Squill tells the story how Keefy D and them came over to him and he was like, yo, Big, you remember Keefy D and them? Right? And Big was like, oh yeah, he hollered at them, they talked. And then remember, Puff also hollered at Keefy D and them and told them that, the police was following them. So to fall back, because they had heat on them. Which I come to find out that Diddy was telling the truth. They were followed by two NYPD detectives. Now, before I tell you about those detectives that was following them that night, right? Reggie Blaylock stated that a white Toyota Land Cruiser SUV tried to pull in between his Blazer, the Chevy Blazer that him and Paul was in, and Biggie's green Suburban, which they noticed that the Land Cruiser tried to pull in between them, right? Now, I'll tell y'all it was in that Land Cruiser too. Now, another thing that Gene Squirrel didn't tell us is that when now a lot of y'all may envision this the way he tell the story is Kitty, run the next 3 lights, Kitty. Kitty, run the next 3 lights, Kitty. Y'all would have thought that they blew straight through the lights. No, they made a left. Now remember, the shooter came up, pop, 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 bust the right down Wilshire. When when Puff car came up, they didn't go straight, they bust the left, right? Let's keep that in mind. Now, Reggie Blaylock, he seen the Impala. He gave a description of the vehicle, of the shooter's vehicle, of it being a late model Chevy SSC Impala, black with large wide tires. He said, and the shooter arm came out and the complexion was light skinned or lighter than his complexion, right? So if the arm came out of the shooter and it was lighter than his complexion or light skin, all y'all talking that Poochie story, bye-bye to your Poochie theory. Because not only what Little C saw, Reggie Blaylock saw, he said, an arm lighter than his. Poochie ain't nothing light about Poochie, right? And also, what did Gaddafi say? Dude was light skinned. That's the 2Pac shooting. Light skinned, bald head with a mustache, look like a bitch in the face. The shooter at the Biggie's joint is lighter in complexion than Reggie Blaylock, right? Then you got Suge to say, if you solve one, you solve both, right? Okay. So pay attention. He said he stuck his arm out and let off 4 shots. Bang, 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 bang. And then he fired 3 more. Bang, bang, bang. He said he tried to pursue the Impala, but it vanished after it made the right. He said he left the scene without giving a statement and gave this statement he gave was a week later. He said he knew he would get in trouble for working without a permit and didn't want to answer any questions if he didn't have to. Now, y'all notice this guy was sitting there, Gene Deal. He mentioned Paul's name, he mentioned D-Rock name, he mentioned everybody's name, but he never mentioned Reggie Blaylock's name. But that is the cop that was driving in the car with Paul behind Big. That was the Inglewood officer. Now, if you heard him say his name, then you heard it. I never heard him say Reggie Blaylock's name. And Reggie Blaylock got in trouble for that because he wasn't supposed to be working off duty for any hip hop people, and he didn't have no permit. And he got suspended for that for 24 days. He got suspended for 24 days for accepting work without proper authorization from the Inglewood Police Department. We also know that Gene Dale didn't have a work permit either or authorization from his job, right? This is probably why Gene probably was running all around, went to chase a car that been going 3 hours already. I'm exaggerating. Like they done ran the lights, came back. He told me he jumped in the car with Tone and they chased the car. That car was gone when Reggie Blaylock seen them do the shooting. Bang, 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 bang. Took off. Red Gene and them already busted left on Wilshire. The car went right. They done ran a few lights and then turned around and came back. Right? Which would make sense now when you think about it, because on what street is that? That was a one-way street where Diddy and them came out and went up and went straight. So if Gene and them blew the light and went straight, they wouldn't have been able to turn around and drive back on oncoming traffic because that was a one-way, right? Or was it? I got to go back and look at that street. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, right? But either way, they busted left at the light on Wilshire, right? So what happened is the police, they got surveillance tapes from the AM PM gas station or store right there that's facing the Peterson, and they got footage from the bank. 30 hours of footage, and they went through all that footage, and they didn't see anything or come up with anything. But however, y'all remember that footage where you see Puff and them pull out and they stop? I think that's when the girls jumped in the car with them, right? And then Puff and them pull out. That videotape was from a girl from Houston, Texas. When everything was on the news and everything, and they had the America's Most Wanted show, that girl mother's friend called America's Most Wanted and let them know that they had that videotape. And detectives from the LAPD, they went to Houston and got that tape from her. And that's how we got to see that tape. Now remember, there was a gunshot that went off right before Biggie got shot around the corner somewhere. And people was speculating, saying that was a diversion to get police to go over there so they could get big, right? However, that may not be true, right? Because that gunshot that took place around the corner was on Orange Grove Avenue, right before the Biggie shooting that people thought was a diversion. And that was from a dude in a Ford Explorer. He was getting out of his car and his 25 caliber gun fell on the floor. Boom. Right? It fell out the mag pocket of his vehicle and hit the floor. So he picked it up and checked it to make sure it was still working. Shot a shot in the air. Bam. Just to see if it was still good. Right? But he was arrested. That guy had got arrested and charged with negligence of discharging a firearm in a public area. So detectives feel like they believed his story and they didn't think that he had any involvement in it, and he got charged or whatever, right? So getting back to when Diddy told Keefy D and them that the feds was following them, just take these 3 bottles of Cristal, yo, go chill. They ain't want them to catch their heat. When the Los Angeles Times printed a story that the NYPD detectives may have seen the shooting of Biggie, the 2 undercover detectives were from New York, and they were following Bad Boy. One was from the Major Crimes Squad, and the other one was from the Federal Bureau of Alcohol and Firearms, and they were on duty and following Bad Boy because they were investigating them for selling illegal guns, and one of the guns may have been used to shoot an undercover cop. Now, remember, I told y'all that Gene told me that he was going to buy guns for Diddy and them in Florida. And this is how he knew how all the guns that Diddy had, because he was the one that bought them, right? Now, Paul also gave a statement that night and said that when he walked outside the Peterson Museum, it was gang members throwing up signs and saying stuff to Biggie. He said that's when he was focused on the white Land Cruiser. And who was in the white Land Cruiser? A dude named Ernest Troyer Anderson, who was the driver of the Land Cruiser. And he had his man Scott Shepard with him, who they said they went to LA to build with Biggie to see if they could get, Biggie to do a birthday tour with him, because they was club promoters and they was soliciting Big. So they followed Big out to LA so they could build with him. So those are the guys that pulled up in the white Land Cruiser on the side of Big right before the SS Impala pulled up. They was on the left, the driver's side. The SS Impala came up on the passenger side and stuff. But those are the guys that was in the white Land Cruiser right there, Ernest and Scott. Now, if you want to sit around and believe that Poochie story, ain't nothing light skin about Poochie. And Poochie had a whole full beard. If you look at Little C's composite, the dude just had a mustache. Not a full beard, right? But I'll get back to Biggie in a minute. And let's not forget about even when Biggie got killed, how Low from OFTB said how they was celebrating up at Death Row office. I think even Napoleon, one of the outlaws, they also said that they were celebrating up at Death Row when Big got killed. But that's not here there, right? Let's go over to Tupac for a second, right? Now, there's that video. Shout out to Michael Collin. Let me see. Let me see if I can find that real quick. Okay, here you go. I just want to see this one part. Now, there's a few cops. I might have to go to the Michael Carlin one. See if this guy. 1 second, y'all. 1 second. Okay. All right. I got it. All right. Now, here's the interesting thing about Vegas, right? I'm going to jump all over the place on this one, right? Here's one interesting thing, right? Y'all remember the two cops that were on the bicycle and pulled Pac and Suge over? Well, they were still, once the shooting happened, they were right on the other end of the shooting behind all the cars in the caravan, right? So when the two bicycle cops was at the rear of the caravan, when the shooting started, they didn't even block off the street, right? Nor did they detain any witnesses. Them niggas chased the BMW on the bikes and let traffic go through the crime scene for about 20 minutes with dozens of pedestrians trampled all over the goddamn evidence, right? Here's another thing, right? Which is weird because they pulled them over and Suge got out the car and went to the back of the car and talked to them. Pac was still in the car. Soon as they let them go, they go down, they go to the light. They get to the light, the shooting occurs. And then they, whatever happens with the shooting, they take off. Then the cops go and they chase Suge again, but on the bikes. Remember, Suge busted U-turn, went up to Las Vegas Boulevard, right? To me, that was a checkpoint, like I don't know what to call it. Like I felt like that was a checkpoint for part of the plan. Like pull them over, stop right here. Yo, y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Y'all ready? All right, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? Pull up. Boom, 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 boom. Pac is hit. Right? Now, did y'all know that the reason it took police the first round of detectives in the K9 units to get there, it took them so long? The dispatch gave them the wrong address. What is yo? And you telling me the police wasn't involved in this? They just got on the walkie-talkies and dispatched and told them the wrong address. So all the cops rushed to the wrong location. Who could have did that? Who could have did that? You tell me Orlando Anderson. Hey, it happened over here. Or like, how could the police get the location wrong and send all the police that first was on this coming to the scene? They all go to the wrong location. How could that have happened? Please, somebody make it make sense to me. How could the police give the wrong? You got the bicycle cops right there. They know exactly where it took place, right? How could all the detectives, the police, the K9 units, and everything get sent to the wrong location? I'll wait. I will wait. And y'all tell me no police was involved in this? Okay. Now here's the other thing, interesting thing, right? Gaddafi, Yakub Fula, right? He assured the police that he can identify the shooter if he was showing the photo of him, right? Instead of them detaining Gaddafi until they got a six-pack or whatever, right? They trying to hold Gaddafi so they could get the pictures. David Kenner persuaded the officers to let Gaddafi go, and he would set up an interview for them to interview Gaddafi. Now we know he gave a statement, but he didn't stick around long enough to see the pictures. Right? 2 months later, he was killed. And we know he was killed by Napoleon cousin, right? But did you know the day he got killed, he was wearing a bulletproof vest? We know he got shot in the head, but he was wearing a bulletproof vest that day, bro, in Jersey. He was only 19. He got shot in the head and died nine hours later. Now, not only did he stick around, didn't get a chance to stick around to see pictures to pick somebody out, right? Suge didn't even speak to the police that day. He left and then come back to the speak to the police to 4 days later. And then he gave a brief statement. Right? Now, the Las Vegas police or detectives, homicide detectives, said they met with Suge. And they are saying he got cut by a piece of glass. Right? They sitting down interviewing Suge or whatever. And I guess they got it from the hospital or whatever. They knew that Suge got hit with a piece of glass. They said Suge kept pointing to him saying that he had a bullet in his head, right? And they started, not laughing at him, but they felt that it was humorous for him to say that he had a bullet in his head. And some of them think he even cut himself, they said, right? They thought it was an act and they thought he may have cut himself, right? But when they asked Suge what happened, allegedly, Suge gave them a statement saying that it was the Crips who killed Tupac. Now they got this statement from Suge telling them that the Crips killed Tupac. Which was they found very weird, right? Because usually, gang members don't be talking. Suge told them the Crips killed Tupac, right? And then after that, Suge went on ABC Primetime Live News and told them that outrageous lie that he had a bullet in his head and said that when they asked him, if he saw who killed Tupac, would he say he gonna say he didn't get paid to solve homicides? But at the same time, he sat there and told Las Vegas homicide detectives that the Crips did it. Right? That's 4 days later that he told them that. That I ain't saying that. That's documented that he told them that. Right? The same way he could have got that from Reggie, because Reggie, for some strange reason, in the first half an hour or hour, he was able to call his dad and tell him Orlando Anderson did it. Right? He knew the person name who did it. Right? Now, a police informant told him that Suge delivered a trunk full of AK to the Nickerson Garden houses the night before that war started out in Compton with all that shooting, right? Now, I don't know that to be true or not, but that's just in the paperwork, right? However, Suge did tell me personally that one of his little homies came over there. They drove one of his cars over there or whatever. He said he went to go get in the car, or he went and looked in the trunk, and it was like, he said fucking like hundreds of guns in the trunk. He was like, yo, whoa, what you doing with what? Wait. And he's like, yo, they told us to bring that over. He's like, man, get that out of here. Right? So I don't know if this is the same incident where they trying to say Suge delivered these guns to Nickerson Garden. But he did tell me one of the little homies pulled up and it had a car with a trunk full of guns. And he said, he told that nigga, yo, get that shit out of here. And then right after that, police raided Death Row, right? I don't know if this is those same guns, right? But and I ain't saying nothing that the police ain't heard because he said it on the jail phone. So it ain't no secret, right? Now, when Las Vegas Metro Police Department interviewed Frank Alexander, Frank is on record giving them a statement, right? And he's saying that the Orlando Anderson incident seemed staged to him. He said Orlando seemed to be standing there waiting for the group when they exited the fight. He said Orlando Anderson didn't even try to escape when he saw the entourage coming to attack him. Now, we all can see that on the video, which I just pulled up. Let me see. Wait, where's that shot of Orlando just standing there? I gotta find it. I ain't gonna waste time looking for it. There's a video. You can see Orlando standing there waiting before they come jump him. He's just standing there. Right? But so Frank also gave a statement that um after the shooting that Suge had Frank come over to his Paradise Valley mansion that night, and the two had a meeting by the swimming pool, you know, which has the red Death Row logo in it. And um Frank I gave the detectives a statement that Suge said to him to say that Orlando, now not Reggie, he said Suge in this statement, right? Suge said for him to say that Orlando Anderson snatched the chain off Tupac's neck, and that's what set off the attack. I don't think y'all heard me. Frank gave a statement that Suge called him over to his Paradise Valley mansion that night And the two had a meeting by the swimming pool, and Frank says in this statement, in black and white, that Suge said to him, say that Orlando Anderson snatched the chain from Tupac, and that's what set off the attack. And Frank said, you know, him being anxious to leave, that he agreed to whatever Suge told him to say, right? And then on the afternoon of September 13th, Suge called Frank back to his house, but now with the more threatening attitude, and David Kenner and Reggie Wright Jr. was there. Frank said before he realized what was going on, Suge was blaming him for Tupac's death, insisted to Frank that he should have had his gun on him whether he had a permit or not. He said the atmosphere became so ominous that he felt that he may not make it out of Suge's house alive. Frank said as soon as he thought about making a run for it, Suge's phone rang. And he had got the call that Tupac was dead. He said that when Suge got that call, he seemed to forget that Frank was there. And shit. So Frank got up out of there and he never saw Suge in person again. So when Suge got violated, that's when Frank started getting the calls again on a regular basis from David Kenner and Milton Grimes, the lawyers. And they wanted him to testify for Suge. And Frank told him that he would be a better witness for the prosecution than the defense. After Frank told the LAPD, after Frank gave a statement to the LAPD, and then that's when Michael Moore told him that Death Row wanted to have him killed. Now, we all heard that phone call when Michael Moore called Frank and told him that DR wants you dead, right? And he like, DR, what's DR? He was like, Death Row. And then remember, Frank hung up with Michael Moore, and then he called the other security dude that was close with Reggie and told him what Michael Moore said. And then that dude was like, yeah, Frank. I heard the same thing. That's the truth. That is documented. That was documented. Oh, yeah, David was there. And then Frank said he got another call from David Kenner at another point, and he was questioning Frank about, yo, what you told LAPD? And then Frank, David Kenner told him what LAPD was saying, and Frank said he denied that he said that to the LAPD. But all the evidence that pointed to Orlando Anderson as the shooter, guess what? All of that came from anonymous informants. Everybody that said it was Orlando never revealed their identity. That's why your boy Pork Butt, he had to pay for him. It was Orlando. Yeah, First Ballot, you might got that right. Right? So there's a guy named Kenneth Knox who worked for the Internal Affairs team. And he started investigating, right? Now, these are names that you might not know, like Richard McCulley from the LAPD, right? So when they started pressing Pork Butt about who was the cops working for them, right? Pogba didn't want to give up no names. So they was going to subpoena him to give up all the names of the people that worked for him, right? So he gave up a few names. Hurley Glenn Kreiner, David Love, and Kenneth Sutton. Those are the only three he gave up when they started pressing him. But then what he did was he gave them a sheet of paper with all the cops' names that was hired for that weekend. Right? The interesting thing, right? James Green and McCulley, Richie McCulley, they stated that Suge Knight paid for rooms for them to stay in the Luxor Hotel. 2Pac was staying in the Luxor Hotel. So how much, who want to bet me, right, that at least one of these cops is in that MGM Grand video? Out of James Green, Richie McCulley, Hurley Glenn Kreiner, David Love, or Kenneth Sutton. Now I don't know who these guys are. I don't know what they look like. But best believe I'm going to research and see what they look like. And even though some of these the Vegas videos is grainy and hard to see, we'll be able to make out somebody. But it's so much, so much, so much more. But I'm going to come back with more in a minute, right? What I know though is all that Puffy killed Tupac and set that up. I'm sorry, y'all. I personally believe that was all a death row in-house thing, allegedly, right? And it's so much more, right? But I'll be back tomorrow on Thanksgiving because I might do a marathon tomorrow on this and give y'all so much more information. Like I said, as you can see, there's names that have not been mentioned that was there. All right. Like I said, it's going to be interesting because I'm back on the Tupac and Biggie joint, and we got a whole probably like 10 months. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'll see y'all tomorrow. I might be in there cooking the turkey, cooking the turkey and dropping it. All right. But these dudes been deceiving us. And watch, by the time I'm done with this, I'll connect these dots, right? Watch and see. This nigga Reggie talking about he don't know Kevin Gaines, Ralphio Perez, and David Mack. Really? But you guys, Sharita, on making a statement saying that the day that Kevin Gaines got killed, she tell the detectives that he worked at death row. But Reggie don't know him. Yeah, okay, pork butt. That's what you want us to believe? You didn't know them? Right. But they Omar Bradley has a fight with Suge, and Rafael Perez is sitting right there, and you standing right there, but you didn't know him. Okay. Don't let I can't wait. I hope I can get Phil Carson on here. Oh, I hope I can get Phil Carson for an interview. Cause I bet you ain't tell Phil Carson that, nigga. I bet you. Choke no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Eat hearty. You know what it is. Hit that like before you go. One love.
Drums.
Many have said it. This go out to the East Coast, West Coast. Put it up. No palm tree the trees and the palms of dealers and fiends. Late night roam the streets. Weed is weaker, but it's cheaper. Not many chicks frontin' like divas. Out west, every chick's a model like Eva, and you know I'm far from believing her. So I'm G'ing her like she G'ing me. Banging in LA is a different thing. At the end, you either dead on the bang, getting out, doing better things. On Sunset, where they hang. Hollywood, where they hustle for change. Times Square here, it's the same. No matter where you go, you'll find a lane. On the west, they kick it with Kane. On the east, trees the social thing. East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. When I'm on the west and I'm doing my thing, don't offer me coke or your nose I bang. Friends don't offer other deadly things. Thanks for the hospitality, we'll still hang. I won't judge you, leave me as I came. On the road to success, top of the game. Eat all the finer things in the food chain. Teach my kids to do the same. Whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your glasses, take a toast. If you rap, East Coast. You gotta love life, they offer wonderful things. Being to travel is a privileged thing. Came back to the East, air wasn't fresh. Streets filled with trash, various people in the eye. It's easy to tell who's upper middle class. Police and racism, same as crash. Back to where they not social, where they less vocal. When they don't know you, be careful, show you around the East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, East Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Pop your bottles and toss the cork. If you rap, West Coast. Both coasts are known to give you fame. Got paparazzi playing cameras your way. Got you bobbing and weaving like Cassius Clay. Most thugs turn Muslim in older days. Change their name to Allah they pray. Probably till they decay. This go out to the east and west. For Big and Pac, y'all let's connect. Rather East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. Grab your raps, roll it up. If you rap, West Coast, whether East Coast, West Coast, East Coast, West Coast. You can't get the West without the ES. So it's manifested that we connect. You know what it is. Choke no joke, learn from mistakes, baby. You know what it is. Greg on the track. Rest in peace, baby. Either war, we here now. You know what it is.
Choke no joke, about to do a little smile treatment, you know. Yeah. Oh shit,
Jack Brown. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is. Never did I think hip hop go this far. Never did I think I see Diddy behind bars or Kells. Penitentiary scars. The Mann Act. Is it going too far? Back. Y'all industry rats. Y'all whack. That's 100. Or Pyro. You'll be trapped like Pac. The go viral. Gene saw the nuts of Ja Rule. At the freak off and Diddy too. But plug shopper, free door stopper. Nigga, you don't know if you a criminal or a cop. But you next to be locked. Ask Keefy D. Telling on yourself on Vlad TV. You dumb nigga, you right. You never be me. And I never be you too. Telling on YouTube, yeah, saying on the step, giving up myself. What the fuck I look like? My name G-Dap. Comb legacy doom. Will the bad boy see time like loon? Your extortion fell through. You friend to no one, like the moon. What did you do? Sat back and watch him get groomed. Only badge in the room. You and wifey drunk the juice. Saw the check for Pac life. And his back right. Guess it's bad boy for life. Or should I say same gang? You the same lane. That Diddy let hang. And now he chain gang. Damn, you rocked him, fella. Didn't you? For the mozzarella. Did it for Wolf and his mother. D-Ferg and Kurt Burrow. Nah, nigga, you did it cause your ass ain't thorough. And you ain't from the boroughs. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. This one's for the whole earth. You know, when they get disrespectful, I just go to the booth and kick the truth to the young black youth. Joke, no joke. You know what it is. Keep on hating. You know what it is.
Joke, no joke. Yeah. It's joke, no joke. Joke, no joke. Jigga, joke, no joke. Joke, no joke.